Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing great today. In today's lesson, we're going to look at partition tables. So what are partition tables, you may ask? Partition tables are tables that have various partitions and your data is saved according to the defined partition that you created at the time you created a table. Okay, now one benefit of using a partition table is, assuming you have a table that has millions of rows, okay, and then you are running a select statement. Because the table is partitioned, if you use a where clause, the database will not scan the entire table. It will just go to that particular partition that is stated in the where clause and pick out the data. So it speeds up your query. It improves the performance of your database. There are different ways or there are different methods to partition your table. You can partition by range, you can partition by list, but for today's lesson, we'll be looking at partition by list. Okay, so let's dive right onto my screen and let's see how we can use the partition table. Now, first we need to create the partition table, and to do that, it's very simple. As usual, we'll have our create table statement, okay? So create table tab underscore parts, that's the name of the table we want to create, okay? This is just a short form for partition, just for the purpose of this lecture, okay? So we have our data type, data columns and data types, okay? And then, very important, this word, partition by list. So this is the partition method. I told you before that there are various ways to partition a table, but for the purpose of this lecture, we are using partition by list. So this tells the database that we are actually creating a partition table, and the list is actually country. So if you run a select statement and then you use the where clause, where country is equal to so and so, it will just go straight to that partition where you have that country and pick out your value for you. Okay. So then again, you need to state the different partitions. So we have partition C1 and then the values CAD, short form for Canada. Partition C2 values JAR, that's short form for Germany. And then partition C3 values FRA, that's short for France. Okay, so let's go ahead and execute this statement. By the way, I'm connected as the HRO user. Okay, so I've just created the table, and then you can see table tab underscore part created. Now, if we run this query, select all from user underscore tab underscore partitions. This is a dictionary view where table underscore name is equal to tab underscore part, ordered by table underscore name partition underscore name. If we execute this query, we're going to see that we have the different partitions as C1, C2, C3, and then you can see the values, you see the length and all whatnot. Okay, so the next thing we want to try to do is to insert data into this table. And then for that, we'll execute these insert statements, okay? So I'll pick them from here, insert, and then we will commit them at once. So I'll just execute, and then you can see one row inserted, commit, complete. Now we have data in the tables, okay? So assuming we try to insert another record into the table that is not part of the partition, like a record that was not created as part of the partition, what will happen? Let's try to insert into table values 10, 850, and then USA. Remember, when we created the table, we didn't have USA as part of the partition list, okay? So if we try to insert this data, we will get an error. You can see inserted partition key does not map to any partition. That means we don't have this partition on our table, so we cannot insert data into the table, okay? But there's a way to fix this. Now, for us to be able to fix this, we need to alter the table to add the partition to it before we can insert the data. Okay, and to do that, we'll use the command alter table tab underscore part add partition C4 and then the values USA. So let's execute this. And then you can see the table has been altered. So if we try to insert the value and commit, you see that we will not receive the error again. So one row inserted, commit complete. Okay. Now the next thing we want to try to do is to select count from tab underscore part, and then we're using the partition C4. That's the new partition we just inserted. You can see now we have one data there. So now let's go ahead and select everything from the table. Okay, select all from tab underscore part and see what data we have. You can see that we have all our records here. You see 3 records for Canada, 3 records for Germany, 3 records for France, and 1 record for USA. Okay. Now, another thing you need to know is the fact that partition tables can also read from external files. We'll try to do something real quick. Now, we'll try to create 4 files. Okay, they will be .dat files. They will have the extension .dat. Now, each file will contain one of the countries, and then we'll put the data inside the .dat files. All of these files will be saved in this location /u01/loader. We have created this directory earlier when we talked about the SQL loader. Okay, so these files will be created on the server level. So let's go ahead and create these files in this directory. So I'll go to our server and then log in real quick. So you can see I'm in this location. If I open a new terminal and then say pwd, that's print working directory, you can see I'm here /u01/loader. So one of the things I want to do is to use the touch command touch cad.dat. Let me be sure we are doing the right thing. So I'll use the command touch cad.dat, and then I'll also create the next one, cat jar.dat, and then I'll create the next one, touch fra.dat, and then the final one is USA.dat. Okay. Now, if we go again to the location, we can see all the .dat files and they are empty. So what we'll try to do is to fill them up with data and then use the SQL loader to load this data to the partition tables. Okay. So let me open the first one, cad.dat, and then I'll pick my data from here. Copy, come back here and paste. Save. Now the next one is jar.dat. I'll open it. Pick my files from here, pick my data from here. Copy. Paste. Save. The next one is fra.dat. I'll come here again, pick the data for France, copy, and paste. Close, save. And then finally, USA. This one has just one record. So I'll copy, come back here, paste, close, and save. All right, so we now have our data on the external file. So let's go back to our SQL developer. Now, the next thing you want to do is to create a directory, both logically and physically on the server. Now, if you recall, while we had our lectures on SQL Loader, we created this directory and it was pointing to /u01/loader. So there will be no need to create a directory again. But if you've not created this directory, please go ahead and create the directory, okay, and point it to that location. And then the next thing we'll try to do is to create a table, tab_part_ext. Now this ext shows that it's an external table just for this practice, okay? And then the attributes of the table. And then you remember we use this word organization external. And then the type is Oracle Loader. That means we'll be using the SQL Loader to load the data to the table. Default directory is test_dir. We've already created this directory. And then access parameters, you see records delimited by new line, fields terminated by comma, reject limit unlimited. Now, this is very important. You now state the partition by list, and then you state all the partition values. Okay, so let's execute this. I'm going to take everything from here. Sorry. And then I'll execute. You can see the table has been created successfully. Now, if we select all from this new table, you can see that we have our records, 10 records. Wow, wow, wow. This is amazing. And then you can get details of your partition in this dictionary view. So if we run the select statement, select table name, partition name, location, directory name from all_external_location_partitions, where table name is equal to tab_part_ext. Let's see what the output is like. So you can see the different partition names and then the location. So guys, this is just a brief lecture to show you how to use partition tables and how to read external data into your partition tables. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was interesting to you. If it was, kindly like it and share it widely. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell icon so you don't miss out whenever I upload another valuable content. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.